So far this chapter, we've prepared an income statement and a statement of stockholders' equity. The third section is preparing the balance sheet, the third financial paper. The corporation balance sheet reports assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity on a specific date. Information comes from the trial balance and the statement of stockholders' equity. We will use a lot of the information from here, and then we're going to take a number from our stockholders' equity that we just prepared last section. Management decisions are made after owners have analyzed the balance sheet. They can decide whether they're going to incur additional liabilities or acquire additional plant assets. And again, the sources of information is the adjusted trial balance and the statement of stockholders' equity. So we'll take a look at the balance sheet. The balance sheets, we have the first section is our current assets. Remember, current assets are assets that we could turn into cash pretty quick. Okay, so we have our list of assets. In the second column, we're going to have their balances. And most of the balances will be right there right away, but you'll notice that we have one that we have to adjust a little bit because we have our accounts receivable less our allowance for uncollectible accounts. So what we have to do is figure out the difference for our accounts receivable. The rest of the balances come directly from our trial balance. When we're all done, we will draw a single line under it and add it up so we come up with our total current assets. And again, you'll notice there's 3 columns in our balance sheet. This is the total column of the section, and then we have subtotals. Moving on to the next section is our plant assets. And plant assets are usually around for a longer period of time. You'll notice that we have basically 2 different plant assets, office equipment and store equipment. And then again, remember, these are not the true values because they depreciate over time. So this first column, we will write our balance for our office equipment, less accumulated depreciation. We draw the single line and then we subtract and we put the total value of our office equipment in the second column. Remember, you will be getting these balances all from your adjusted trial balance. We'll do the same thing with your store equipment. We write the value of our store equipment minus our accumulated depreciation, draw a line, and figure out the difference. So we will see the true value of our office equipment is here, the true value or our book value of our equipment is there. After that, we will draw a single line, total those 2 numbers up, and we come up with our total of our plant assets. This represents our plant assets. Up here is our current assets. Draw a single line, and we will get the value of our total assets. Okay, so that is the first section of our balance sheet. Remember, the balance sheet covers our accounting equation. Assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. Liabilities are classified according to the length of time until they are due. Liabilities due within a short time, usually within a year, are called our current liabilities. Liabilities owed for more than a year are long-term liabilities. Okay, so on our balance sheet, the second section is our liabilities. We'll center that heading. Our current liabilities, we will list all of our current liabilities and their balance from our adjusted trial balance. After that, we will draw a single line and we will have our total liabilities down there. In this example, 3 green does not have any long-term liabilities. Okay, the last part is our stockholders' equity. We will put our capital stock in there, whatever our capital stock is worth. And again, this information is found from all of this information is taken off our statement of stockholders' equity that we just prepared. We have our retained earnings. We draw a single line. We'll add those 2 together for our total stockholders' equity. Then we will add our liabilities plus our stockholders' equity, and we'll come up with our total liabilities and stockholders' equity. When we are all done, our total assets should equal our total liabilities and stockholders' equity. Once that happens, we will double rule across all three columns. And remember, our balance sheet, our accounting equation equals assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. Or in this case, stockholders' equity. And again, when we're all done, this is what our completed balance sheet looks like. You can see in the top portion, we have our assets. In our bottom portion, we have our liabilities and we have our stockholders' equity. And again, once those two equal out, we would double rule.